Football is back.
Yep.
Football is here. We
Tyson Badgett is back.
He is back. We had our first preseason game, and and just the best way ended in the best way possible. A storm got rained out.
Yes.
So how else would you want an NFL game to end but with a rain delay or weather delay? But Bears, Texans, no starters playing. What I was
Yep.
more interested in was kind of looking at, I guess, the dynamic of the kickoff, because they had the new
Yes.
kickoff rule. So
Yes.
we were skeptical about it. Like, I know when it first came out, we were talking about on the podcast how we weren't the biggest fans of it, and it was more of like, because why change it? Like, you're just changing things for no reason.
Yeah.
And when you if you like when you watch the new kickoff,
Yeah.
it looks virtually the same when the ball is in play,
It does look the same.
in terms of like when players will be getting to the returner,
Yes. Yes.
just with a little less momentum,
Yes.
because they're not starting 50 yards down the field and sprinting.
Agreed. Yeah.
Um,
Which I mean, now you can still really mop someone up from
yeah.
20 yards away,
Oh yeah.
but I mean, it is going to make it a little interesting. It's going to definitely be harder to return kicks for a touchdown because you
Oh,
have to split. Because usually when guys are running 50 yards, you might find a gap somewhere.
you're gonna find gaps. Maybe people are getting picked up over here. People got picked up
Exactly.
down here,
Yeah.
and then it's also easier, I believe, for the kickoff team. The old school way, because you might be able to run scot free down the field untouched.
Sure.
Now it's like, you only got, what is it, 5 yards? I think
They're
it
5 yards
was
apart. Yeah.
maybe 5 yards apart. I can't even remember. It
Because
was
yeah, sometimes I mean they what are they called, gunners?
mhm. Well,
They double
yeah.
they'll double a gunner and then just not let them leave. But sometimes they'll break through and put the work on somebody.
Um, but but it really, honestly, I guess you're trying to protect players on kick returns, I guess it's fine to do. But
But at the same time, it's like I mean we love football, but I mean we don't love football for the returns necessarily. Like it's an aspect of the game,
mm,
um, but just already the league has become increasingly more just taking the kickoff really out of the game a lot.
well, the explanation I heard during the game was they actually they did this to try to make kick returns a more dynamic of a play, like
Sure.
a more dynamic play, because you are going to have to get a little more creative now.
Yeah, I,
Like,
I, I want to see all the schemes they have for this shit.
I mean, just, I guess you're gonna have to get creative with blocking. You might have to get creative with having multiple guys back there in a reverse or end around type situation. It's
Sure.
like it might actually turn into a more of a play type of,
More of a complex play
yeah.
than yeah, just a
Which is, I if that happens, it's cool. If that's the goal, that's cool. Um,
but
and
if it doesn't, then
but like I said, even if it doesn't, it looks virtually the same once the ball's in play.
yeah.
Just a little less momentum.
Yeah.
Like that's really all
And
it is.
honestly there might be I don't know. There might be less touchbacks,
Yeah,
but I don't know.
probably less touchbacks. Just, I mean, well, the touchback rule is different now too. If it was
I
something,
think it is.
God, if I wish I had it in front of me, but so it's different if it lands in the end zone. I Let's just ballpark it. If it lands in the end zone, 25. If it lands in the field of play and
In the
then
field of play.
rolls into the end zone, I
Yeah.
believe it's either 5 ahead or 5 back. Like, it's
Okay.
different now. Um, but the onside kicks, that's the
Hmm.
problem I have. That's what I have a problem with.
Are they gone now? The onsides?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So here's the rules for the new onside kicks.
Um.
It has to be in the fourth quarter. You can only do onside kicks in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
You have to be losing.
You have to be
You
losing?
have to be down,
What are we doing?
and you have to announce it before you do it. You have to
Now,
announce it
was
before
that
you
the
do it.
rule before or no?
I want to say
Because
yes, which is still
because
dumb.
I think they took that away after Pat started that whole thing of returning his own
Mm,
onside kicks.
okay. I do
I
feel
don't
like you're
know,
right,
but
but at the same time, I mean, it's like okay, if you can only do it when you're down and in the fourth quarter, at least let them sneak it. Like, I
sure.
mean, shit,
I
what are we doing?
I it might be okay with. I mean, it's rare you see an onside kick not in the fourth quarter. I mean, you'll see him at the half sometimes. But what I don't like is that it has to be when you're losing. I mean, you could be
Yeah.
up by one, and they're
See,
going to be like,
being up by
"Hey,
one and kicking an onside kick would be dumb, though. You know what I mean?
that is true." But I mean, Sean Payton, I guess he's really one of the only guys who really utilizes or used to utilize the onside kick. Them and the Colts used to do some shit with it, but outside of that, there wasn't a ton of people running onside kicks often.
But I mean, honestly, it just seems more like some dickhead shit where they're like, "Well, you guys, I mean, teams don't do it unless they're down in the fourth quarter, and they have to announce it anyways. So we might as well just make that the rule. Like,
Yeah, I don't know
there's
why
really
we're
no reason to
no, just
because
when it happens.
it that like it. I don't know. It's kind of like if I I
Now,
can't
what
think
if
of
a squib kick hits a player in the head?
then that's
Is that
not
an
an
onside?
onside. No, it's not an onside kick. Well, it's
Okay.
not going to hit a. How's it going to hit a player in the head? They're all the way down there now.
Oh, you're now our squib kick's different.
No, it has to land in the zone. It has
You
to.
can't
There's no
squib kick
squib
anymore.
kicks now. Yeah, no, there is no squib kicks. You're right.
There's
There's
no
no squib
squibs
kicks.
anymore.
No, there's no squibs. There's no nothing.
They took the squib out of the game. Now we
Uh,
need to find a different. We need to find a different use for the word squib because it's a great word.
it. Can we look up? Is there a definition of squib?
I don't know what squib means,
Can we
but
look up the
this is what
definition?
happens when you like follow sports your whole life. You know all these words that mean nothing outside of the sports world. I don't know what a squib is.
What does squib mean?
A squib is a miniature explosive device used in a wide range of industries, from special effects to military applications.
Okay, so okay, all right.
Well, I want to use it as something different. So,
But at least we know now, like what the context of squib is, because yeah, to me it's like it's just a type of kick on a kickoff.
yeah,
Which okay, I guess it relates to the actual word that makes
maybe.
sense. But um, yeah, the new onside kick rule or the new rules, I definitely am not a fan of. But the fact that the NFL is at least pushing to try to make kick returns a little more exciting. See, but here's the thing though, they made rules to make like it harder to play defense. They made
Yes,
rules to make they really made rules that kind of made actual gameplay a little more boring. But then
yes.
they're like, but don't worry, kick returns.
This thing that happens 8 times a game
This shit is about to get intense.
gonna
Just
be
wait. Like
fire.
it's I don't know. It's just it, it
I feel like it's just gonna complicate shit for this season, and then
yeah.
it's just gonna. Then we'll get the hang of it, maybe mid-season or whatever. But it's just gonna be weird, kind of
And then
figuring out all the rules of it.
and also this is a preseason game, so I wasn't really looking at like the hip drop thing, like
No,
because like it's like how hard are they? Well, no, I'm not. I'm lying. Obviously, these guys that want to make a roster spot are gonna try, but
sure,
but this also might just be like we've had one game, so I don't want to jump to any conclusions. But
yeah,
I will say this now. I'll drop the salt now for in the future. Seemed like a lot of guys were just diving at ankles and just saying fuck it because they couldn't really wrap up and pull. Because I
really.
mean.
Now, does that make this more dangerous?
Well, no, but it just that's just what I noticed because
Yeah,
they were talking about it before the game where they were saying it's probably gonna be more of a unless it's super blatant
yeah,
a fine type of situation. You're gonna get
sure,
fined
yeah,
after
yeah.
the
I mean,
game.
that was the conversation for a while. Yeah.
Which makes sense, but I think because of that, players are afraid, and they're I think
Well,
just
especially guys who don't have full roster spots yet.
when we as the weeks progress, try to pay attention to it. Like the first game and moving forward, every one you watch, just try to catch that and see if it feels like people are diving at their feet a little bit
Yeah,
more.
no, I definitely want to watch that because I mean, it was just honestly recently that people called that tackle that they gave that tackle a name, at least in the public eye,
Or like a bad
a
rep.
bad reputation.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's because fucking 6 people got injured from a football play. Like it shouldn't be like this bad fucking thing that people are using to tear people's ankles up. It's like no, it's a fucking football play. It's a way to tackle somebody. You've taken out a few other ways to tackle somebody. So yeah, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah, I don't want it to impact gameplay. If players get fined, whatever the fuck, that doesn't really bother me. But
And a
don't impact play.
and a hip drop tackle is such a gray area. I think even the
Yeah,
players are confused on
of
like what
course.
they are allowed to do. And I
Like,
think
can you
that
pull someone down? I think hip drop is just like, can you drop your hip and just not land on their legs?
so like but okay, but does that mean I won't get an unnecessary roughness call if I pick them up and pile drive or just suplex them down to the ground? Like, so what? Like, how?
Yeah.
It's like okay. So do y'all want us to
When I
just
got him at the waist, what do I do with him now?
like? Do y'all want us to be more physical, like strength wise?
Yeah.
And when I say us,
Rather than using leverage on a human.
yeah, when I say us, obviously I mean them. But like
NFL players, yes.
do they want them to like? I just don't. Obviously, I don't think it will affect the gameplay a lot. It will, like we said, it will probably be a fine type of thing where it's going to be a lot of NFL reviewing games and sending
Yeah.
sending a nice little fine
Yeah,
to
same thing that
players.
they've been doing with running backs for the past few years, which is anytime you lower your fucking head, you get a fucking
Hmm.
fine, which is absolutely stupid. But yeah, I don't
Um,
know.
but yeah,
We're
football's back. I believe the real preseason starts next weekend or next
next Thursday,
Thursday. Yeah.
I think.
Okay. Cool. Next Thursday. I like that. I like that a lot.